Good day, everyone, and welcome to the SuperTalk. Excited to be here today with a wonderful topic. There's a lot of students interested in the legal profession, and we have two rock stars here in the legal profession. So, Mark, tell us about our special guest.
All right. We have with us Miss Leah Y. She's a local attorney, and she attended the University of Texas at Austin, where she graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Political Communication and a concentration in Women and Gender Studies. She obtained her Doctor of Jurisprudence from St. Mary's University School of Law, and shortly after beginning her practice, Miss Wise was voted Best Attorney by the Valley Morning Star's Reader's Choice Awards in 2017 and 2018. And then her husband, Omar Ochoa, is also here with us. He's from Edinburgh. He's been nationally recognized as one of the best young trial lawyers in the country. He's represented clients in federal and state courts throughout the United States, even internationally. He graduated from the University of Texas in Austin with degrees in business, accounting, and economics, and later graduated from the prestigious Business Honors Program. So they're both with us here today.
Well, first and foremost, on behalf of the district, congratulations on all the success. We're so proud of you all, and you all represent our community so well. So we'll start with Leah. Leah, multitude of professions you could have chased, and what really inspired you to pursue law?
So contrary to what a lot of people think about me, I didn't know what I wanted to do. When I graduated from college, I was very much lost. And so when I talk to young kids, I always tell them, like, there's no pressure to have everything figured out, especially in high school, because when I was in college, I had no direction. So I decided to take a job with a state senator, and I worked during the legislative session at the Capitol. And it was there that I saw so many legislators advocating for their constituents, and I was so inspired by that. And I wanted to be an advocate, but I didn't want to run for office. So I thought, okay, the best way for me to be an advocate for my community is to go to law school and become a lawyer and be able to advocate for my clients. So that's really what inspired me to go to law school, and I have no regrets. It's been amazing.
That's awesome. So to all the moms and dads out there, all the students, be patient. You don't have to rush into making a choice. Mm-hmm. You can really go out and discover the world and figure out what your passion is, what your calling is, and at that point, then you go after it. So I know a lot of times kids are trying to fast forward, trying to come up with a decision too quick, or parents are putting too much pressure on. So You're hearing it from a top-notch attorney that it's okay to go into your first, second year of college and still be exploring. So Omar, at what point did you decide you wanted to chase law?
Well, my story is a little different. I'm actually the one that advocates, if you know what you want to do, say it loud and proud as early as you can. So for me, I was actually inspired to become an attorney by my first grade teacher, right? So I was inspired by an educator, which is why I know positive reinforcement from teachers is so important to the development of kids. So the story starts in kindergarten. I was asked to do a poster project of what I wanted to do when I grew up. And the poster that I made was of a rock star and all the rock star things associated with it. My parents saw it, and I could see the look of disappointment in their eyes, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe that's not it. Next year, in first grade, I got into an argument with my first grade teacher about why we needed more time at recess. Okay. And so after the argument, I think we did get more time, if I remember correctly. But after the argument, she pulled me aside, and she said, "You would make a great attorney one day." I had no idea what that was. But I remember going home at the end of the day and telling my parents, "Hey, I think I'm going to be an attorney." And the beam of pride that came from their faces, I knew that's what I needed to do. And so I just kind of always had it in mind ever since then. I had the opportunity to be an intern in high school for a law firm and really enjoyed it.
That's cool. And I think that that's the power of a teacher. I mean, if you think about what teachers do for students and just how they inspire them, and you just never know when that moment of impact is going to happen. So to all the students out there, I know that sometimes you don't think that being in debate or impromptu speaking or any of the clubs that you're in right now are going to influence your future, but it really is. So if there's some passion that you have that you're good at, then that's another way of looking at it. Find your passion soon. So you have permission to find your passion soon. You have permission to take your time. At the end of the day, we just want you to get out there and do something that's rewarding. So Leah, from your perspective, is being a lawyer, is it rewarding?
Absolutely. I think it's probably the most rewarding thing that I've ever done. I represent people who are going through the worst time of their lives. For most of my clients, they come to me because they've been horribly injured. They've been in an accident that just completely turned their life around. And so people don't come to me because things are going great in their life. They come to me because they're going through something terrible. And so it's extremely rewarding to be able to advocate on their behalf, make sure they get the medical attention that they need, make sure that they're adequately represented. And, I'm happy to say that I've been able to secure, millions of dollars for my clients, and it is extremely rewarding to see justice being served.
And I love that. And I think that a big part of it, I think in the medical field, they call it good bedside manner. But in the legal field, you still want to go to somebody when you're broken and you're hurt, whether it's a death of a loved one or an accident. To your point, you're broken.
Right.
So you really want to go somewhere where you feel loved and nurtured and cared for.
Not just a number. And I think that, we're called attorneys and counselors at law because a lot of times we are counselors for our clients. We are listening to everything that they're going through, trying to navigate how to make things easier for them, better for them. So I agree. Like, you want to go to a lawyer you feel comfortable with, somebody who has sympathy, empathy, and you can relate to. And that's what I strive for.
And that's cool. So to all the students out there, it's really driving that point home on why we focus on the emotional quotient. That's why we focus on self-awareness and self-regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills, in an attempt to raise the emotional quotient. It's really important to us. So, Omar, so there's a student out there listening to the Super Talk right now, and they're thinking, man, you know what? This is a pivotal moment for me. I want to go into law, or I'm showing some interest in it. What does a high school student need to do to get ready for this field?
Yeah, great question. I think, ask as many questions as you can to people who are in it. And especially being a student and showing that enthusiasm for wanting to learn more about the profession. Literally any lawyer will sit down with you and talk to you about it. And so I think not being shy about contacting people, saying, hey, I really want to learn more about your profession, really doors will be open and they should feel good to be able to do that.
And Leah, for you, you're kind of a trailblazer. I see, going up and down the expressway, you see the signs, you see the commercials, you see the use of social media. So it's not the norm. It's this different vibe that you have, but it's effective. So
Thank you.
How and why did you pursue that approach with regard to how you market your firm?
Yeah, so going back to what I said a little bit ago, I know that, or if it were me and I wanted to hire an attorney, I'd want to hire somebody I can relate to, somebody who shows a personal side of themselves. When you think of lawyers, you think of like mean, stern, arms crossed, the people that you see on the billboards. And I really wanted to set myself apart from that. So my goal is to make myself relatable to my clients. And I'm not just trying to sell. If you follow me on social media, I try to bring value to your life, entertainment, educational things on what to do if you've been in a car accident or injured at work. And so I try to distinguish myself from the normal definition of what people think a lawyer is, because I think in this day and age, people want to see a personal side of you. They want to be able to feel comfortable with their lawyer. And so that's why I try to distinguish myself in that way.
And I think that's refreshing. I think that all the students out there, all the future lawyers out there, there's more than one way to do it. And there's an effective way in 2023 and moving forward.
Exactly.
But Omar, for students that are going to pursue law, what's their life going to be like? What's work going to be like? What can they expect?
Sure. Yeah. So it's a great profession, right? And I think, we're highlighting some of the things that we really love about it, but it takes a lot of work to get here, right? So, and it starts early in high school. You got to work hard so that you can get into a college, and in college, you got to work hard so that you can get into a law school. And then in law school, you got to make it all the way through. And then at the end of that, take a test, and then you can become a lawyer. So it's a long road, right? But it's very much worth it. And so people should not be discouraged about the amount of effort that it takes to get there, because it's a very rewarding career ultimately.
I love that. So what does a student really need to be focused on? Is it reading? Is it writing, communicating? What do you got to do to really hone in on do we want our students to go out, not just be lawyers, but go out and be a driving force and be successful and out in front, trailblazing? What do they got to do to do that?
Well, the truth is there's all kinds of skills that makes a good lawyer, and not every lawyer has the same set of skills. Some are very good at legal research. And so if you like reading case law, if you like writing, if that really turns you on, that's going to be something rewarding for you. But maybe you don't like that. Maybe you prefer to have a connection with people. And so being that type of lawyer is something that can be successful as well. So there really is all kinds of characteristics that would work. What I would say is try as much as you can, because finding out what you like and what you don't like, what you're good at, what you're not good at, it's going to funnel you into the dream place that you want to be. So the more they put themselves out there, the more they challenge themselves, they're going to find these things out and be able to push themselves forward.
I love that. I love that message. So students know they gotta buckle up their chin strap and get ready to work, right? Because it's one thing to get in, and then it's one thing to get through, and then get that bar behind you. But then you find yourself in the arena with all the other attorneys, and it's a competitive market. So
For sure.
I think that you all have done a tremendous job as this power couple that just out there just breaking down barriers for young students behind you guys. So did want to thank you all for that. And Leah, I know that you're part of the McAllen Education Foundation. I see you out in kind of in the fashion world too. So there's more than just law that you're doing. So how does that help you in your profession, and just kind of taking this, throwing the net out wide and doing more than just law? But how does that work?
Yeah, so I consider myself to not just be a lawyer, but to be an entrepreneur. And I, like to be involved in my community too. I think it's our duty as business owners to give back to the community that keeps us in business. There's a reason why we're successful as business owners, and it's because our clients and our community support us. So I'm very big on community outreach, supporting the community. I recently did what's called a period poverty drive during Giving Tuesday, and a lot of people don't know about period poverty, but there are many school-age girls who can't afford feminine hygiene products, and then they can't go to school, or they have to ask the school nurse. And so we're sort of just spreading awareness about that, because I think that is a huge issue that affects education. Because if girls who are in school can't afford feminine hygiene products, they can't go to school. I also love fashion. I'm very girly. I don't think if you're a lawyer, you have to be, you don't have to sacrifice your femininity or your love for fashion or your love for other things. And so Crash Gal Couture is the name of my clothing line. We just launched it in November. And
I came up with that, by the way.
He did. He came up with the name. So yeah, I love it. And so my goal with Crash Gal Couture is to create a space for girls who maybe don't have a ton of money to spend on clothes, but they want to look professional and go to job interviews and look professional. College age girls, even women in their 30s and 40s. Nothing in my clothing line is over $100, because I want to make sure that it's accessible to all women. And we like to create an inviting space where women can come in and feel comfortable shopping with us. So I love fashion. I love helping the community. I love being a lawyer. I also invest in real estate. And so I think it's important for students to know that you don't have to fit into one category, right? You have many different parts of your personality, and it's fine to embrace all of them.
I love that. And thank you all for sharing your time with us. I know that you all aren't only great attorneys, you're also wonderful people. You're a wonderful couple. You're a great example for our kids. So on behalf of the administration and our board, I want to thank you all for being here. And I hope that all of you out there got something from this Super Talk, and I hope a student was inspired to reach greatness. So thank you all. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.